On Europe Day, the head of government, Rama, has chosen to respond to the scepticism expressed by Dutch MPs a few days ago in Tirana, saying that half a day is not enough to gather facts when the EC has an entire army to do so. One day after being extradited from Turkey, Hajdari has stated through his lawyer, Hajdari, that he has started the procedures to reopen the Hajdari file. According to the chairman of the Albanian Financial Supervisory Authority, delays in repaying damages by insurance companies continues to be a problem, as evidenced by the 417 million lek that remains unpaid for 2017. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Wednesday the 9th of May 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. It is unknown whether it would be really easier if the US President Donald Trump was in charge, but according to the head of the Albanian government, membership into the US would be easier than with the EU member states, who he says have squeezed Albania to meet the criteria. I remind the EU that the fulfilment of the 5 priorities has squeezed everything from the Albanian government. The European project is the right one for the future of our children, despite the scepticism we face from some member states, said Rama. With today marking Europe Day, Rama also gave a response to the Netherlands as one of the sceptical countries in regards to the decision to open negotiations. It makes me laugh when such delegations come. They come in the morning to gather facts and leave in the afternoon. They meet me, some MPs, they meet my beloved friend, Ulzim Basha, and then leave. What kind of facts can be collected within half a day? While the EC is an army of countless experts and bureaucrats who know facts, bring facts, talk about facts, and hear only facts, exclaimed Rama. According to the head of the government, Germany, France and the Netherlands owe us, and therefore they should give us an opportunity. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Didmir Bushati said the European project cannot be called complete until the Western Balkans are a part of it. With the European Commission's recommendation in hand, the Parliament Speaker, Rucci, underlined his disagreement with the link made by some MPs, especially the Dutch, of Albanians to crime, focusing instead on the positive impression left by Albanians through art and culture. Rucci refused to accept the cannabis branding, saying that this phenomenon is one imported from the West. Drugs originally came from Europe. We did not have them here, outlined Rucci. The Speaker of the Parliament said that there is no evidence that the opposition is working against integration, but invited them to work together with the government for this purpose. I hope the opposition will work with the government for the goal of integration, said Rucci. Regarding former Minister Samir Tahiri, Rucci praised his resignation as the first time in these 27 years of democracy of a moral act within the realm of political immorality. The case of Tahiri is the first to step down from a mandate as MP in 27 years, said Rucci. Asked whether Greece has set the maritime agreement as a condition for negotiations, Rucci denied such a fact. The maritime agreement with Greece does not condition negotiations with the EU, said Rucci. The head of the Assembly also agreed with the position of the Minister of Justice and the President, who disagree with the decision of the High Council of Justice not to dismiss certain judges. The High Council of Justice's decision is disgusting, alarming and shameful, said Rucci. Rucci stood in line with the Prime Minister when the latter raised the alarm of Russian and Islamic influence if Europe closes the door to Albania. There is no time to delay the start of procedures to once again reopen the murder case for the former DP MP Azem Hajdari, described as the trial of the century. The lawyer of Hajdari, one of the accused as a collaborator in the murder, extradited just last night from Turkey, stated after the meeting he had with his client in the 302 prison that Hajdari has been tried in absentia and they will request the reopening of the case at the Tirana court very soon. The lawyer, Hajdari, did not give any clarification as to whether Hajdari would present new evidence that would enable the reopening of the case or would support the claim only at the procedural stage of the trial in absentia. We are studying the first acts. Our claim is to reopen the file from the beginning because my client was tried in absentia, said Hajdari. Izzet Hajia, the former bodyguard of former Prime Minister Salih Berisha, was extradited from Turkey last night and is now being held at the premises of the 302 prison. He's one of the individuals convicted for the assassination of Hajdari, but he never accepted his participation in the murder. His two brothers, Ismet and Isameddin Hajia, were also convicted by the court alongside Izzet, though they were then released after having completed their sentences. President of the Republic Ilir Meta accepts the letters of credentials from the new Irish ambassador to Tirana, Orla O'Hanrahan. The head of state, Meta, praised the friendly relations and cooperation between the two countries, as well as the unreserved support that Ireland has given to Albania, both for NATO membership and EU integration. Focusing on the European integration process, President Meta expressed his gratitude for the stance declared by Ireland in support of the opening of the accession negotiations in the European Union of Albania and the continuation of the enlargement process with the Western Balkan countries. Given the low level of economic and trade exchanges, President Meta underlined the need for greater attention in this regard and better exploring the real potentials that both countries have. In commemoration of the martyrs who fell for the freedom of Kosovo, the Kosovar Prime Minister Rama Hajdari said that the contribution of those who fought for freedom will not be wasted. The head of Kosovo's government also reminded the EU that Albanians have always fought for freedom, and even Europe cannot be free without the oldest people in the region. Europe should open negotiations for Albania and give visa liberalisation to the people of Kosovo. It is impossible to conclude that Europe is free or lives in freedom if the people who are the oldest on this continent have no such freedoms, said Rama Hajdari. Asked by Aura News about the national highway tariff, Hajdari refused to give an answer. "I'm sorry, but I will not be answering questions on this topic today," said Rama Hajdari. The contribution of two symbolic figures from the war for the liberation of Kosovo was honoured at the National Museum of Tirana. Representatives of the Albanian and Kosovar government, as well as representatives of the families, participated at the ceremony of the 20th anniversary of the fall of two martyrs, Ilir Konushevci and Hazir Mal. The insurance market in Albania continues to be problematic. Chairman of the Albanian Financial Supervisory Authority, Ervin Koçi, during reporting to the Economy Committee, said that there are 417 million lek that remains unpaid for 2017, and an inspection of the procedures followed by insurance companies has been initiated for this. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the Economy Committee, Ervin Koçi, demanded on behalf of the Assembly more engagement in monitoring the insurance market. "Complete the inspections within 2018, said Ervin Koçi. During 2017, the insurance market in the country has been oriented to non-life insurance, and the largest volume has been kept by the compulsory insurance. Albania returns to the finals of the Eurovision Song Contest after 2 years of absence. The interpretation in Albanian of the song Mal by Eugen Bushpepa was received with applause by the attendees at the Altice Arena in Lisbon on the first semi-finals of Eurovision. The performance convinced the voters to support the Albanian song and send it to the final, being held on May 12th. Only 10 have been able to continue the journey to the final from 19 competitors of this first semi-final night. The name of Albania was the 8th that came out among the selections announced in random order. The other Albanian singer, Eleni Faurera, was also among the winners of the night, who came out on stage with her song Fuego, representing Cyprus. The night concluded with the announcement of the list of the 10 finalists, which included Austria, Estonia, Lithuania, Israel, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Finland and Ireland. Meanwhile, the remaining half of the semi-finalists will perform on Thursday night for their chance to reach the great finale of May 12th. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.